for the for the audiences, can you just identify yourself by stating your name and the instrument you're playing?
Sure. Well, I'm George Sheppard. I am the one of the singers. I play keys and guitar as well.
Hi, I'm Amy Sheppard, and I am another one of the singers and songwriters.
Hi, I'm Emma, and I play bass and some backing vocals.
Some backing vocals.
Yeah. So my first question is, how are you guys doing, and how are you coping with the pandemic?
Yeah, we're okay, man. Thanks for asking. We are, we're pretty safe here in Queensland. There's one active case at the moment. We were lucky enough that we were all able to sort of lock down here where we have a studio. So we were able to stay creative and keep making music, which was really great for our mental health and keeping busy. It was also great for our productivity because we needed to write a third album. So it was perfect timing. But, I think we're all very ready to kind of get back to live touring and getting back to doing real shows because, I was saying it earlier to the girls, it's not the same doing live streams constantly because you don't really get to feel the audience interaction. It's really nice that you can do that, and I'm so appreciative the technology is at this stage now where we are able to put on a show in our home and stream it to the whole planet. But, live shows are kind of where we get our lifeblood as a band from, and it's the only chance that you can get as an artist to really see firsthand the impact that your music's having on people and how much it's affecting them and how much they really enjoy it. So it's been a bit of a double-edged sword for us.
Actually, the question is for the three of you, George, Amy, and Emma. So how's it working with siblings with your siblings in a band?
Well, it works. We have our days, that's for sure. But I think actually as a team, it works really well. We know what strengths and weaknesses we've all got, and we've worked it out. And
you can copy their hair. You know what I mean? It's like
no one gets offended. Yeah, we just really enjoy each other's company as well. So
yeah, it works well. Obviously, otherwise I think we would have broken up as a band a long time ago.
So how do you deal, say, with disagreements or misunderstandings between as a band or as siblings?
Oh, it's intense, but then it's almost like it never happened 15 minutes later. Do you know what I mean? So it's like with siblings, that's like the magic fabric. For some reason, you can have the biggest fight ever, but then 15 minutes later, you're like, oh, can I borrow your iPhone charger? And it's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this month you released a single called Symphony. So I heard it's inspired by LA. So what's it in LA that inspired you to write the song Symphony?
Well, Amy and I, we were lucky enough to get the opportunity to go to Los Angeles for some songwriting. We've done it about 2 or 3 times now. And there's just so much inspiration to find in that city. Just being able to go overseas and have an opportunity to get creative is always, I love traveling to do songwriting because you're in a new city, you're feeling like you're on an adventure almost, and it's like no 2 days are the same. Every day is a new session, a new writing partner, a new producer, and it's just it's constantly keeping it fresh. Los Angeles is a city where all of the best in the business all flock to, and so the fact that we were there, it was just really easy to kind of get inspired by all of the other amazing people that we were going to be working with.
So your previous singles have been love songs with more serious topics. So what was your motivation in writing a joyous stadium-sized pop song like Symphony?
Say that. Repeat the question. Sorry.
Your previous singles have been love songs with more serious topics. So what was your motivation in writing a joyous stadium-sized pop song like Symphony?
Well, I think Symphony was it was one of the songs. I think we've always been really apprehensive with, going full throttle with our happiness and, our positivity, because I don't know if it feels uncool, or most musicians, they go darker and they wear sunglasses inside, and they feel I think it took us a little bit to come out of our shells in that respect. And I think Symphony is an important song for us because it's the first time we've actually just gone, screw it. Let's remove the shackles. we are who we are. Let's just make the happiest, most uplifting declaration of love that we've ever written.
And so why did you decide to release a new single every month, which is a cool thing for a band like you?
Yeah, we decided at the beginning of the year, a couple of days after New Year's, that this is what we wanted to do. We had a big bag of songs that we'd started writing from all of our various trips. And we wanted to figure out the best way to release as much as possible in the shortest amount of time. And we thought, what if we were to release the entire album, one song at a time, over the course of the year, one song a month, with a video clip to go with it and single artwork, essentially turning the entire album into an album of singles. Our managers were like, "Oh, that's a pretty cool idea. Let's give it a go, and we'll see how it works." And it's been my favorite decision that we've ever made as a band, because we are constantly getting to release music that so as an artist, you often have to wait months and months before you can release a song. So you'll write and finish a song and you'll just be so excited to show people, but then it doesn't come out for 8 months. And by the time it's released, you're like, "Oh, wow, that song. Yeah, that's right. We wrote that all the way back in 2014 or something like that, So this way, it's like, it's keeping it fresh, not only for us, but for the fans. Because they get to have a constant stream of new music from us. And it also allows us to be as current as possible. So you're going to see the evolution of the band over the course of the year, rather than it all being packaged into one album and dropped at the start of the year or whatever it is,
Yeah. So what can your fans expect from your forthcoming album? How different will it be from the previous ones?
Say that again? Sorry, you were just cutting out a bit.
What can your fans expect from your forthcoming album, and how different will it be from the previous ones?
Well, I think for this album in particular, like I just mentioned, we've kind of removed the shackles of feeling like we have to be a certain way, or having to hide our color and all of our energy. So there's going to be a lot more color, I feel like, in Sheppard's future. And this album is definitely us getting a bit more experimental, but still in the same pop sensibility world. It's like we've essentially slowly just dusted off what Sheppard is over the course of 3 albums. And this feels like the purest version of Sheppard, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So can you tell us about your creative and songwriting process?
Yeah, I mean, it's... do you want to take this one?
Yeah, it's different every time, I guess. As we said, we collaborate with all sorts of different people from all around the world, and some of these people have different rituals and different ways they like to write. But for us, we just have to kind of lean into that and try new things and experiment. I think that's helpful for an artist, because you can, you're not set in your ways, and you can try new things. And although that can be uncomfortable, I think sometimes you can end up with a better result and a more creative, experimental result. But yeah, usually it starts with, one of us will have an idea, whether that's a guitar riff or some lyrics or a chorus. And then George and Jay, who are the other songwriters in the band, will jump on and we'll just carve out this puzzle piece that we've got going on. So I think, that's probably a little insight into how it's done.
Your songs have earned millions upon millions of streams. So how does that make you feel?
Pretty good. Yeah. I mean, to know that people are all over the world listening to our music, that's the dream, right? We're very lucky.
Yeah, and speaking of billions of streams, Geronimo has been a phenomenal single for you, with more than 300 million streams now worldwide on Spotify. So has it ever crossed your mind that you should outdo the single every time you write a song or release a single?
To be a single, sorry?
Geronimo has been a phenomenal single for you, with more than 300 million streams worldwide now on Spotify. So has it ever crossed your mind that you should outdo the single every time you release or every time you write or release a single?
I don't understand the second half of that question. I'm sorry.
Has it ever occurred to you that you should outdo the single every time you write or release a single?
Like try and outdo Geronimo?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a lot of pressure to try and follow it up. That's for sure. Like we always felt like it was such a huge single for us that we had a real uphill battle trying to figure out what the next song was going to be. And, you know, we kept throwing away songs that could have been really great songs, but they didn't feel like Geronimo. And so we were just like, it's not worth it. Let's start again. And we did manage to like get over that in the second album. I think once we had a song called Coming Home, which did quite well in Holland and a couple of other countries around the world. It was a nice sort of like, oh, okay, you know, now we can just write whatever we want, because, you know, even though it might be impossible to figure out what is going to beat Geronimo, but it's like, that's the wrong place to be creative from, to try and beat a song that you've already written. You know, it's like you can't, each song has its own personality and it's just so different. It has its own fingerprint. You can't really compare. So, no, we just try and write music that we enjoy personally, and then hopefully that resonates with our fans.
I remember you coming here in Manila for a show and meeting you guys when I was still with Universal. So what are your fond memories of Manila?
We have a lot of memories, and it makes us smile when we think of Manila, because the fans there are so passionate, and everyone was making signs and made us feel like rock stars. So we really enjoyed our time in Manila.
Yeah, I think the main memory I have is landing at the airport. That's never happened in all the countries we've visited. There's never been a crowd of that size as there was in Manila. It was like the Beatles had arrived, or One Direction had arrived, and we just felt like real proper rock stars, like Emma just said. It was a reception that we've never had anywhere else in the world. And getting to perform in the Mall of Asia with that amount of that crowd that was there was just so electric, and they were singing along to every song. We loved our time in Manila. And Jollibee.
Yeah.
You got to get me some Jollibee.
Yeah, when you come here for a show, expect more Jollibee.
Oh, yes. It's going to be on our rider.
Yeah. So do you have any gym collaborations or any artists you'd like to collaborate with in the future?
Yeah. I'd like to collaborate with Coldplay on something. That would be really nice. I'd like to write a song with Chris Martin. Chris, I know you're listening.
It's like every Sheppard interview.
If I just say it on every interview we do, he's going to hear one of them, right?
We love collaborating with artists. I mean, recently we did collaborate with a Singaporean artist. Her name was Narelle, and we did a Music Matters episode with her, and that was lots of fun. So we're always open to collaborating with artists. So maybe the fans can let us know who they'd like to see us collaborate with.
Yeah, maybe probably a Filipino singer or a band, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. They can just message us on our social media, give us some heads ups.
Yeah. So what is music to you?
What is music to us?
Yeah.
So much. I don't know where to start on that question, because it's so much, like, it's our life, it's our livelihood, it's our
it's essentially
passion.
the language of the world, you know. It's like anybody from any culture, any walk of life, doesn't matter what language you speak, what you believe in, it seems to be the one thing that unites us all. And that's something that, you know, you can't really take for granted. I think, you know, a lot, like with Spotify and Apple Music nowadays, music's so readily available that we're all spoiled for choice with music. But we always have to remember how important it is, and what a beautiful tool it is to bring people together, and to get ideas across, and to share emotions and love and feelings. You know, it's such an important aspect of human nature. So yeah, it's very important.
So how do you react when people sing your songs? Like they would sing Geronimo or Symphony to you? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, it's the best feeling in the world to know that you know, our song has really resonated with some fans or some people. It's just like, you know, it's a dream come true. We're yet to hear people sing Symphony, because obviously we've been inside, but it's very new. But we look forward to seeing, you know, maybe some covers on YouTube pop up over the next few weeks. And yeah, hopefully, you know, we can come and travel soon to the Philippines and hear all the lovely voices at a show once again.
It's like the dream for so many musicians and songwriters. That's the dream, like to be on a stage in front of people that are singing your music back to you. That's yeah, I think that's a dream for a lot of people. And the fact that we get to do that, we feel so fortunate.
So what do you consider the highlight of your career so far?
That's a hard question.
Yeah, there's been a few.
I've been so fortunate to have so many great opportunities and highlights.
I think getting to perform on Ellen DeGeneres was a pretty big highlight for us. Probably not the main thing, but that was definitely a cool moment for us.
Performing at festivals like Rock in Rio, which is one of the biggest festivals in the world, that was a big highlight for us.
Yeah, I think just the opportunity to travel and perform all over the world is just a huge opportunity that, you know, not everybody gets to experience. So we're very grateful for that.
You're an Aussie band who has penetrated the world music scene. So how important is it to you that your music should be heard not just in Australia, but all over the world as well?
Yeah, well, I think we're very proud to be Australians flying the Australian flag for music around the world. And, you know, it's not something that we take for granted either. Like there's only a certain handful of artists that get to fly that flag. And the fact that we're one of the bands that I guess the rest of the world has looked at for Australian music. Yeah, it's a huge honor for us, and very important that we can keep on taking Australian music to the rest of the world.
So what has being in the public eye taught you? Or what has fame taught you?
Stay humble.
Yeah, I think
Because you never know who you're going to come in contact with again. I mean, you always have to be a kind person, but I think people tend to lose their sense of reality and forget that, you know, you might see this person again coming back down the ladder or going up. So
yeah, we're all just humans after all.
And nothing's permanent.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Speaking,
We've dealt with people from both sides of it. We've dealt with people that have been incredibly generous with their energy and their time, and, you know, people like Keith Urban, you know, Megan Trainor. They're just really lovely people that will still give you the time of day, and they will have the conversations with you and chat with you.
And they're the people you remember.
Yeah. And then there's obviously people that we've, you know, seen and worked with that we're just like so far from reality that you don't even know how to talk to them or relate to them in any way. So it's, yeah, you definitely want to be on the former side of things.
so what do you have to say to your Filipino fans? Your message to your Filipino fans?
Salamat sa pakikinig mga musika.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Did I get that right?
Yeah, you got it right. You got it right. Yeah.
We love you guys, and thank you for listening to our music.
Yeah. So thank you so much, George, Amy, and Emma. It was
No problems,
so
Mark.
nice
Thanks a lot.
to see you again. Hope I can see you again in person.
Yes,
Probably
that would be
this
great.
year after the pandemic.
Yes.
Hopefully we can come back and play the Mall of Asia or somewhere bigger.
Yeah, maybe in Mall of Asia Arena, I guess, because
That
you're
sounds
very
good.
popular here. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks
So
a lot,
thank
Mark.
you.
We really appreciate
Thank
the
you.
chat.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Iris.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Queenie.
Sir Mark. Thank you.